in the upper left here. In the gold, he is for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, taking a marathon of a series against creator. It's Hero. In the bottom right, in the red, his name for Kites of Gaming, it's the sun, it's Solar. I'm not sure that I would say that Hero is a smart party with less micro skills. Not that he's maybe doesn't play more or less intelligently, but I'm not going to say that his micro is worse than Parting's. I mean, Hero at times has been seen, has been called, or has had some of the best micro in the world. So if we're saying he's worse micro than Parting, it is by fractions of a cursor, fractions of APM, however you want to, whatever metric you want to use, I don't know. But I will tell you that Hero, there's a reason that he was, for a long time, considered the paragon of Protoss. Aggressive when he needed to be, greedy when he needed to be, playing middle of the road when he needed to be. He has won GSLs, I think. You're pretty sure he's won GSLs. He's won major tournaments. He has consistently, until this last year, and look, it's his first year back, what are you going to do? Placed in the top 4 at Katowice. He is truly one of the best Protoss to ever play this game, and I am so glad to see him at that next level. Hey, Man Mythmers, thanks so much for the follow. Glad you're here. But I'm so glad to see him back at this level, because with Zest eventually going to military, we assume stats gone, parting gone. We're going to lose Trap pretty soon. He says he's going to the military. Hey, Redamus Maximus, thanks so much for the follow as well. The fact that Hero is back and so quickly looking so good. Well, then I guess you follow someone else, Blitz. Go follow Inu and you listen to the series in Korean. Which is valid. I mean, I'm not judging. But I don't speak Korean, so I personally would rather listen to myself. I mean, that's why we cast, right? Because we like to listen to ourselves talk. That's how that works. Sure. We're going to go from there. Hero, he's moving into Oracle play. This should surprise absolutely no one, as that has been pretty much the result of things. And hey, DPG Zhao2, I believe that's the owner of DPG. I know he's shown up in the Alpha X channel before, but hey, your boy is killing it. Not in this tournament, but also in general. I'm going to see that Oracle go on down. But, okay, so we have one Oracle out. Second one's going to be on the way. Hero's going to go to 3. And then where he goes from here is really anyone's guess. He's been playing a pretty ground-focused Protoss style right now. And there we go. We see the Twilight Council going on down. Looks like, okay, maybe he's only going to be on 2 Oracles. Interesting. 3 Oracles has appeared to be the meta right now, but I guess on Curious Minds, it is short enough that you're maybe a little bit more worried about rampant, unchecked Zerg aggression a little bit more. So you say, okay, I'm going to go on 2 Oracles. I'm going to establish my ground presence a little bit earlier. So for now, that is what he is going to do. Twilight Council on the way. This most likely is not for Glaives. He's going to find a Queen. That's always very nice. Shut down the production there of the Zerg. So we're going to see the Queen go down. A couple drones go down here, and Oracles take barely any damage. So Zerglings float across the map because they say, okay, maybe the Oracle's of fine value, but this is 48 Glaives behind this. This is... Well, okay, so now the Zerglings, they're going to find a little bit of value. Honestly, the Adepts are not in the best spot. Now it finds a good spot. But Adept Glaives with a third. This, by the way, is a well-timed third. It was at, before 4 minutes, I think, or right around 4-minute mark. But going 4-gate Glaives behind this is just going to leave Solar pretty heavily confused. This is not a standard build. This is weird. And it's greedy. But if Hero's going to be able to make it work, I mean, Solar's not ready. Straight up, he is not ready here in this game. The Roach Warren is only halfway done. Oracle's flying, and they get a little bit of damage. Honestly, I feel like you maybe even just kill the Lings, but look at this. It is 11 Adepts to 21 Lings. That is not a good ratio as the Adepts find their way on into the mineral line here. Drones are going to get pulled away, so they're not going to find too much value just yet, but we need more Lings. There are no Roaches on the way here because the Roach Warren is not done. This build from Hero is brilliant. It is playing to the assumptions of Solar in a way that Solar was not prepared. And by the way, he's building 3 probes at a time. His economy is pretty damn strong as the Adepts. They're going to get on top of these Queens. The Queen will survive, but the rest of these, they're going to spend a lot of energy here. And Adepts, they're going to shade on, and they say, yeah, we'll fight these Lings, especially with the Oracles right here. Hero, he's looking for the death blow, the killer blow in this game as the Roaches are on the way. Solar just needs to survive maybe a little bit longer. But the question is, how much damage will it take for that just a little bit longer? Roaches are now done. We're starting to see the spores go down, though. And that means the Oracles, they're going to have a little bit more free reign here. The spore is dead. Adept shading on into the natural now. There are more Roaches, and there are more Lings. But even still, there's been so much mining time lost in this game that is not the situation that you're looking for here for Solar. But at the end of the day, as I think we can safely say that this pressure is mostly ended. Now we're finally starting to see some workers go down. At the end of the day, that could have been much worse for Solar. GSL Super Tournament, but not the regular. Thank you, Jimmy Schmo. So 6 workers go down. But 36 lanes, a couple Roaches, 3 Queens. Pretty cost-effective trade there. Did an Oracle just die? Oracle just died. Hero, for shame. But he got 10 more workers, so I guess that's fair now. Or 4 more workers, whatever. Worker damage that is starting to become useful as more gateways are getting added on in. We're going to see Immortals here as well. This is a terrifying build. The fact that Hero got 2 Oracles out, that he got Glaives out, and he got a 3rd base and was probing up at the same time is truly terrifying here. But this is not a fight he wants to take. He's going to shade on top of the Roaches, and actually he's going to take a fairly good trade there as the Adepts, they shade on in. He's treating them as a bully force more than anything else. They're going to find their way on into the main base. That's another Queen going down. Roaches are going to pop maybe just in time. But notice what Hero's doing. He's actually not killing the workers. I mean, he has a shot and he's killed some, but he's really targeting down the Roaches. It's a really interesting setup, but what this means is Solar is not really building in this scenario where he's losing all of his economy, but he has his army alive, and that he's going to go kill his opponent. Instead, he says, well, okay, now I'm going to put Adepts everywhere. Good luck dealing with this one, Solar. But he says, look, I'm going to keep your army down. So you're not going to have this opportunity to run across the map and go kill me with a bunch of Roaches and a bunch of Ravagers. And he's still finding value. These Adepts are still finding so much here in terms of mining time lost, in terms of workers dead. And eventually, you know, some of these Roaches will clean up the Adepts here. But by the time that's done, we're going to have mucho Immortals on the field. 1 is here, 2nd one on the way. There's a Warp Prism to add in more, and the army supplies are pretty equivalent. This is not the type of game that Solar wanted to play, and Hero is just dragging him across the map. And now Hero says, you know what? I don't want to give you any time to think, no time to breathe. Solar, I know you're a smart man. I know you've got intelligent ways of playing this game, so I'm not going to give you any semblance of time here. He's got 2 Immortals. He's got a bunch of charge lots. His +1 is done rather soon, but he's going to look to try to maybe hit even before these Ravagers are done. The Cocoons are finished, but now the Zealots get on top of them immediately. The Ravagers got to run back there. Squishy units indeed. Vials are not going to hit anything. The Queens are starting to go down. Immortals, they're just targeting firing their hatchery on down. They say the Zealots are going to be more than enough of a force field to keep this army away, and Solar is going to lose this base. I think he's going to lose his 3rd base. The Immortals, they kill that one on off. The Zealots, now they say, yep, that is the value I'm looking for. Let's run on back. The Oracle will die. Shame on you, Hero. Should not lose that. But good force fields here. He's just going to kill more probes. He's going to be able to survive. He's going to be able to save most of these Zealots, but no, they're going to run back anyways. And now the Warp Prism. He's going to go pin back Solar once again. Now, Solar does have a 4th base. But this is a 3-base Protoss against a 4-base Zerg. And yep, there we go. He's just going to snipe the 3rd base once again. 2 Immortals with +1. They are powerful things. This is dead 3rd base here. Solar's got to cancel. Solar's got to cancel. He does at the last second. But, oh man. I love Hero so much. The way he plays PvZ right now is just, this is what we wanted out of the patch. We wanted these insane scenarios. We wanted players showcasing their multitasking, their micro, their macro, their decision making, not going haha void ray burr. And Hero is doing exactly that in this game, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't have this massive supply lead. He has done a lot of damage to Solar, but he's got to be careful on how this fight happens. Biles are not really going to land. But still, it is a 30 supply lead, so it's still a little bit hard for Hero to push on in. I worry that maybe he's stuck too much on tier 2 tech, not going on up to, say, Robobay on into Disruptors. But hey, you know, there's a way to fix that one. You warp in a bunch of Zealots into the main base. You snipe some Queens. You force the army of Solar back, but even still, I don't know that this is an army that Hero can really break, and the Zealots will be dealt with eventually. So the question now we got to ask ourselves, as Queen somehow stays alive, the question we need to ask ourselves is whether Hero can weather the coming storm. Now we have that second robo on the way. Now we have eventually disruptors on the way. But Solar has his four bases back up again. He's pretty much maxed out. He has +1. He has a significant amount of Roach's Ravagers as the Biles try to snipe the War Prison. They are unsuccessful. And Hero is not necessarily traded the best. The Zerg is only down 800 resources, which in the context of this game is of a PvZ is really not about much of anything. So now the army's running across Hero, got a little bit out of position here, and look, there are so many High Templar in this army. Storm is not yet done. It's got another 40 seconds on the way, so it's gonna have to be a careful fight here for Hero right now. Biles not really landing just yet, but the Immortal count not insane. It's only 6, and that's a lot. It's a lot of DPS, but you got to be careful. So we're gonna see some Archons get morphed here. No Storm to make things happen, but Hero's got a big concave, and shield batteries are doing a damn fine job. The supplies are starting to equalize just a little bit more. Storm getting closer to being done as we have disruptors. They're on the way, and they're on the front lines. He's gonna have them as an immediate reinforcement here, and it looks like Solar is gonna be forced to back on up. He's got to go home. This army composition from Hero is a little bit too much to break right now. And here, the spinning balls of death, they have arrived. Solar, he has to back up, he has to retool, he's got to find a different army, because this one he's got right now against the Disruptor tech is not good. And we will have Storms here as well eventually. No High Templar though, so that's not exactly the timing that Hero was looking for, but do you need Storms when you have Disruptors? I don't really know. I don't think so. Disruptor shots on top of everything, but he gets the one that was doing the big damage. Even still, Baneleys, they come crashing on in. They're slow Banes. The Stalkers say, okay, I'll eat that one. That's fine. I'll eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As now the Ravagers, they're trapped into a corner. Ravagers, they're powerful units indeed, but they need some way to move, some way to run away, and that is not happening. Hero continues his run. He's up 1-0. Man Myth Mirth says, Hero is absolutely, without a doubt, freaking OP. Now, I expected this type of run from him at Katowice, and unfortunately, Ryung said no. Ryung said, I am going to end your life. I'm going to make you rather upset. Guitar King, that's funny because I haven't had I'm getting a haircut next week. I'm like, I'm due for a haircut. My hair feels a little long. But I did work out this evening, and I took a shower, and I combed my hair, so you're still seeing it's not totally dry yet. Right, Redemus Maximus, but Disruptors popped out just in time. I was worried about, there was a large portion of that army supply. They're like 6 High Templars trying to build up energy for Storm. But Hero, he was flexible in his play. He said, yeah, I want Storm. That'd be very nice. But I'm not going to get it. That's okay. I'm going to build these Archons. I'm going to hold your push. I'm going to kill you. And that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, the Zealot Asher Bro. So what it does is, again, I have most of the dance animations made that, well, most of the dance animations. So whatever race wins, their unit is dancing. Right now, we've only had Protoss players winning, so we've only seen the Zealot and the Immortal vibing, but we'll get Lings and other things soon enough, Hydras. And Defiance RTS, thank you so much for the follow. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're enjoying. I mean, I don't know how you could not enjoy things. These games are freaking sick. But regardless, I'm glad you're enjoying things. Ukuduker, who I see you're not in chat, but you messaged me on Discord calling you out here. Yes, I do sleep, but I sleep after Korea is done. We got those PhD, those grad student, those StarCraft caster DJ hours because it's worth it, because EPT Korea is freaking sick tonight. Oh yeah, and Kia Audic, I also built that one. I'm glad you enjoy it. That pulls from Team Liquid's API and pulls the results. So it's always going to be a little bit behind, and it is dependent on the work of the Team Liquid volunteers. So you should thank them as well. Key 0 DK. But okay, so as I said, Hero, most of his games, not all of them, but most of them, he has been opening up Oracle play. It's 2 or 3. I think it's going to be 3 this game just because, well, it is Glittering Ashes. Glittering Ashes is a map that you, well, It's big. You don't kill your opponent before 15 minutes, so you can afford to get that third Oracle. You're not worried about really early pressure that's going to knock things down, as the Oracle takes a lot of damage for 2 workers. I'm not sure that that was totally worth it. But okay, actually, no, Hero's going to stay. No, okay, there we go. Cast a Curse. At the moment, I'm like, the Stargate hasn't been producing for 5 seconds. He's probably done. No, he wasn't. And the Death finds his way on the other side. Solar, he's in a much happier position in this game. We're going to have to see how much damage the Oracle gets. 4 completes just in time, so it's not infinite damage anymore. And 3 workers go down. Grand total of 5 if you're keeping track. Zerglings are going to find the third base, but this is Adept in a pretty nice spot here. And this station is not going to get much of anything done. Okay, that's fine. But 3 Oracles are on the map, which means Zergling pressure is non-existent. It doesn't even matter. And we're going to have to see where we go from here. Twilight, Robo, Forge on the way. So this is not going to be Glaive. This is going to be most likely a blink timing. +1 blink into something else. I'm kind of disappointed, actually, because we've seen Hero, and we're not going to see it in this game. So, okay, the Adept not on hold position, so we'll go down, but I mean, the Zerglings are not going to get much of anything here. Just a little bit of something. We've seen Hero occasionally now go for pretty much naked Robo. You get 3 gateways, you get a Robo, you build some Adepts, you run them across the map. But the point is not that. It's a delayed 3 base play. And this is how he killed Dark, by the way. And you go into 2 Stargate Phoenix behind that, and then when your opponent swings to counter 2 Stargate Phoenix, you move into Mass Blink Stalker Disruptor. It was a really cool build. It made a lot of sense. It's really the Protoss player almost playing like Dark has been playing. Like the Zergs have been playing, that you open with big roach pressure into mutas. Kind of hoping we see that this game, but I guess it is Glittering Ashes. That's not the easy. It's Glittering Ashes, right? It's a big map. Any sort of early pressure-based build is just not going to be as good. Now the Oracles, they're going to fly on in. It's only 2. 1 is kept defensively at home to make sure that Ling Run-bys don't do tremendous damage. And Hero. Hero. Come on, dude. Don't lose an Oracle. I mean, again, also good target fire there from Solar. But ooh. Folks, I do declare. We got a case of the Trapper Lords here. Solar bringing out the big guns in game number 2 as the Stage Trap does not find any little bit of damage. Solar's doing the weird stuff. He's doing the stuff that most Zerg players don't do, because guess what? Hero mandates. Hero is just so damn good in every match. It's kind of disgusting. But Zerglings find their way on into the main base now. Do we have any warp-ins just yet? Looks like the gateways, they have cooldowns. There we go. Lings, they find their way on in. Eventually, the Stalkers will clean this one on up. The units, there we go. So Zerglings, they're going to go down. They're going to get a good scout here. They're going to see the Twilight. Do they see the timeline of it finishing? No, they don't. 3 workers go down. Please kill this. Hero. Hero. That was expensive. That cost gas. Not a lot, but some. That represents threat to you. So he will kill this one off now. And now he's ready to move on to the map. +1 blink. How many sentries does he have? The answer is actually not a lot, but he does have an Immortal, and maybe that's going to work on out for him right now. As Oracles, they reveal the Creep, which is just about as useful as revealing the army, to be totally honest. And the army of Hero continues on forward. Zerglings are actually a big problem with this. It's just a bunch of +1 blink stalkers. There are no force fields. So Zerglings, they actually do a lot against this. You gotta force everything back. We're gonna see the Immortal get recalled here. Sentry going on down. This is not working out well for Hero just yet. And the creep spread for Solar is actually pretty good. But folks, I would like to direct your attention to what is being warped in, or being created in these robos. This is double Robo Colossus. This is Blinkstar Colossus. This is not a style that we've seen for a good long time, and guess what? It's pretty good against what Solar is going for. Not the Spire, not the Mutas, but certainly this Ling Roach idea. And something you always got to worry about is now the Stalker's running out once again as the rocks go down. Something you always got to worry about as the Zerg is, do you get caught out in your Muta transition? So 4 Mutas are on the way. Actually, Solar kind of lacking in minerals. Well, you can build more. Is he lacking in larva? No, he's got that. He's just trying to make sure he knows what he's going to do. And I think he's going to get caught in this transition here. That's a lot of Blink Stalkers morphing on forward, blinking on forward. We're going to see 1 Ravager goes down. But you add in the 2 Colossus to this army, and it really makes it hard for the Zerg to fight with this Ling Roach idea. So now we have a Depths on into the third base as well. Hero looking to run on in, and yeah, there's a counterattack. There's always a counterattack. That's how you play this game as the Zerg player. These Lings are useless in this army. So now it is truly a base trade. Lings are going to find their way on in. The meters are not there just yet. They're playing defensively, and there's not a wall. Hero has died to this before. He may die to it again. Zerglings find their way on into the natural, but this army is the thing I'm worried about. How many mutas do we have? We're on 14, 13, actually 12 going down to Stalkers. They find a lot of these mutas on the other side of the map. That is not what Solar wants. That is a massive expenditure for really minimal gain. And in this base trade, you need every muta that you can get. So now we're going to see the Stalkers bling on forward. +1 will not be a thing for the Spire, for the mutas in this game. They're stuck at +0. 30 workers have tied, sure, but this army from Hero is pretty damn fantastic. Zealot's going to warp in the main, just try to delay the bleeding as much as he can. Stalkers in the 4th base. Stalkers and Colossus in this 3rd base. And as long as one Nexus stays alive, I'm pretty confident in Hero's ability to recall and Hero's ability to take the final fight, because that is what a base trade turns on into. Now, granted, there is no static defense in the main base. That's a bit of a problem. No cannons, no shield batteries, but please deny +1. Hero, there we go. So he should be able to deny that as well. Zerglings will... Yeah, he gets it. Okay. Zerglings will not really be that much of a significant factor in this game. They're not going to be super scary to the Stalkers anymore, especially as +2 is done. Solar has lost every single hatchery that he has on the map. Actually, what are the structures he has? He's 2 sport. Okay, so does he have... Yeah, he has extractors elsewhere. You just find their way onto the main base then. Now the last little bit of mining for Solar is here, or for Hero is here, but now the Stalkers, they're going to blink on in. These meters are going to go down pretty damn quickly. These +2 Stalkers are pretty fantastic. So how many meters go down? What are we at right now? Yeah, that's it. Hero, he takes the base trade against the Muta player. Holy shit, Hero is damn good.